Sam Pittman. Coach, good morning. It's great to have you on the Chuck and Bo Show. How we doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Doing good. Kids report this afternoon, and excited to get going tomorrow.
What's the building like right now, Coach, as you guys anticipate this? Is it sort of a little bit like – I know fall camp's a grind, but I also know there's a little bit of excitement, like maybe Christmas Eve type stuff.
Nah, I've got a really good staff, and they're excited to get going. There have been places I've gone, oh my God, we're going to go 18 hours a day and all that for 30 days in a row. We don't go quite that many, but no, we're all excited. It's easy to get excited. We've got a really good group of leaders. Really like the group of guys, and so my staff. I like my staff. I like the players. So it's exciting, and that's the fun part of coaching, is actually getting out and being able to do it on the field. And with my hip being a lot better, I'm really excited to get back to the old guy out there running around and coaching.
Hey, Coach, you're able to do so much more in the summer now. Does that take a little bit of the pressure off in terms of instruction and all the things you got to implement when you start fall camp?
Yes. I mean, you look at some of the things that we were able to do with what I call OTAs, but the hours that the NCAA allows us to work on the field, it's changed it so much. You're not, first practices used to have 10 bad snaps and 19 jump-off sides on both sides of the ball and all that, just stuff that, kids are excited. They're probably not quite disciplined yet. Those things don't happen anymore because of the time we're allowed to meet with them. And a lot of mistakes come from the unknowing. I think. And you kind of take that part of it out in the summer and then go out and you kind of evaluate a little faster because kids aren't thinking as much. You get what you get. You see what you see, and they're not sitting out there questioning themselves playing half speed.
Coach, with the transfer portal era, it can be a negative. It can also be a positive when it comes to filling holes in your roster. A lot of guys on this team, fans don't know much about. We know a few things about the team and the returning guys, but a lot of guys on defense that we don't know. We didn't know Larry Worth III last year, and he turned into a real player and a real leader this year for you. What can you tell us about the guys that you've brought in? I don't need to go through all the names, but just you've had this confidence about your team, and you've got that view. We don't necessarily have that. What do you like about the group that you've brought in, and how do you think it's going to impact you?
Well, I think if you look at it, you can look at the portal however you want. When you choose to look at it as, we lost so-and-so, or you can choose to look at it as, man, they replaced him with so-and-so. The problem is with the public, they don't know, who we replaced, whomever left. And that's always the tough part, the tough 6 months part of it. But if you look, as we went down to SEC medias, obviously Taylor Green was one of them. Xavier Sorey's one of them. Obviously if we could have took 4, we would have took Carmona, which would have been another transfer. All 3 of those guys are transferred. Cam Ball's a rarity. He's been 5 years, but, without replacing the team with those guys, we wouldn't be near as good as we are right now. So, it just depends on how you look at the portal. I always look at it as opportunity. We try to keep whom we want to keep, but if we can't keep them, I always look at it as opportunity to make the team better. And I think we've done that. Let me just say this just real quick. I love Mike Washington. I think he's going to be a really good running back. You asked me some key guys. I think he is. I like that room. But I really like Mike. I think he's special. Jalen Brown's a guy that guys don't know about, Omega Blake. Raylan Sharp is one heck of a slot receiver along with Cam Shakes. Those guys will be good. I think the people will love Corey Robinson. We went after him out of Georgia Tech. He was ranked the highest pass protection guy in his league, if not in the if not in the country. And then, so we've upgraded that O-line. I think we're 8 or 9 deep of good SEC players. We've got some good competition there. The secondary, we're big. Our corners are big. We've got five, maybe 6 of them that I believe can play in the SEC. We'll figure out what that battle is. And then on the interior of the defensive line, I like it. I think we're 2 deep, SEC, good at big SEC players. We went out and got a pass rusher in Phillip Lee and Justin Boone. And then we obviously had Quincy Rose and Charlie Collins here before, and I love our linebacker room. So special teams are good. Devin Bell is a guy that, he told me not to do this, but I just did it. And so I love the special teams. I like our snapper. No, he can snap and tackle. And Devin Bell's a hell of a guy. So great. Devin Bell's the most valuable guy on our team. He holds, he kicks off, and he punts, and he can make tackles on the kickoff team. So
how about that?
Got a lot of. I love this team. Like my staff, excited to go. And just because we're a little bit of an unknown doesn't mean that we're not good. And so we'll figure that out in the next 25 practices. And I think the state will be excited to see the Hogs when they run out there and play Alabama A&M.
Coach, you talked the other night. I heard you talk about Rohan Jones, new tight end.
Yep.
Tell us a little more about him. He's not the only new one, but he's one that.
No, speed there, Chuck. He's fast. He can catch. We can do some different things with him, and we're going to. We'll look like 11 person. We'll look like 11 personnel with him in a slot, which is really 12. It'll look like 12 to the defense. The pitcher will look like 11. We can do a lot of things with him. We move him at times in spring on the one-on-ones. We moved him with the wideouts instead of running tight end linebacker because he's that talented and that fast. He's also bigger and where he can block as well. But we went specifically out for him because we need somebody that could stretch the middle of the field and give people problems because of his speed, and he certainly can do that. Wonderful kid. Got married, I don't know, just in the spring, late spring. I think right after spring ball, he got married to a wonderful young lady, and I'm happy for him and happy we've got him.
Did Taylor Green consult you about how to ask his then girlfriend to be his fiance?
Well, it probably would have been a lot cheaper. I asked Jamie to marry me in the pickup truck, and it didn't take too long. Hell, I was pretty sure she was going to say yes, but wasn't 100% positive. And I still had to wait to take her back home if she said no, But no, he didn't ask me.
Yeah.
But if he would have, I wouldn't been the guy to ask. I just would have kept it simple. She's going to say yes or no. I mean, hell, it's just a question, But I know it.
Yeah, it's just a question.
You got two. You got 2 answers, and she said, "I need a little time." How you going to wait on her, right? So
yeah. That's good.
I don't know.
That's good.
It's a lot bigger deal now than it used to be, I think.
That's a great story about you and Jamie. Does she tell the same story, or does she make it sound a little bit better?
Oh, no, hell, the truth's the truth. We're going over there. Probably had about a quarter tank of gas. Didn't have a long time to wait, Didn't want to turn the car off. It's kind of cold outside.
That's awesome. What a great story. That's fantastic. I love that. Sam Pittman with us, headed into what is, I think a lot of people are excited about because they don't know what to exactly expect because of all the reasons he said with these new players, which can also lead to some cool things. One of the things, Coach, that I've been struck by interviewing some of these guys for Hog Pods is, I don't know how you did this. There seems to be a character to some of these guys that you brought in, which is hard to do sometimes in a portal situation because you don't get to recruit them for 2 or 3 years. But it seems like that you've managed to put a bunch of guys together that actually like being together. and that's kind of a hard thing to do in this portal era. How do you feel about just the environment you have with these players?
Well, I think this is again, I really like the characters on this team and how they keep each other accountable. I think every coach in the country today feels the same way. I think it will last the entire year simply because we have so much older leadership than what we possibly had in the past. You know, you really don't find out about your team, your staff, until tough times happen. You know, you really don't. So we tried to put them through some extremely tough workouts this summer. Ben Souders and his staff did a good job, but so we found out a little bit more about them in that way. They've been bowling, swimming. Now this is not let's don't lift today, let's don't run, and let's go bowling, or let's go swimming, or let's go do something together. That's extra. And they wanted to do it, which is extra time. And I'll be honest, when I was in college, after we got done with our workouts, I really didn't want to go bowling with the guys, but this team seems to want to be together, want to go out to the lake together. And, I think that's got a lot to do with starting with Taylor and Carmona and Sorey and Campbell and those guys, the older guys that are know it's their last year. They want to leave with something special.
Hey, I want to ask you too, Coach, before you get out of here. You were part of the announcement with Hunter about McFadden and the patch on the jersey. I know he wasn't one of your players, but I also know that you know him and you understand what he means to the program. So what were your thoughts on that?
Well, as much as he means to the program, I think we all felt how much the program meant to him, and all of us, anybody who's been an ex-player wants to be recognized. They do, I wanted to be in the Hall of Fame at Pittsburgh State. I did. I acted like I didn't, but I did. I think this is something that, to me, was way overdue, and he'll get his jersey up there, and the number one jersey everybody wants when they walk in here is 5. It has been that way for 6 years, and he's just a wonderful guy. I asked him to come help us in recruiting, and he did, and came in here and on a junior day and all that, and he loves the program, and obviously loves Houston. What a wonderful relationship those guys had, and so it was just a lot of fun and well earned, and I'm just so happy that I got to be just a small part of it, and I didn't do anything except my heart was full because you could feel how much it meant to him, and that's why you do things like that, and especially if you get a response like he gave, then man, what a wonderful day it was, and it will be from here until eternity.
You got an interview future if you want it, Coach. You could do you tapped in like Oprah in his emotions, and that was pretty cool. That was good. I saw that.
Nobody gets.
I see you, Coach.
I don't know. I appreciate the compliment, maybe. I don't know what that was.
That's a compliment. Yeah.
Hey, Oprah's doing good and made a lot of money, did a lot of good stuff.
We got to ask.
Still doing it.
We got to ask. I know it's a basic question that everybody talks about, but what do you think will be the biggest difference with Taylor Green in year 2?
Just confidence, knowing what he's doing pre-snap. He's healthy. I think it'll be health. I should have said healthy first of all, because he catches a lot of heck. For this, for that, or whatever. I was 40 yards away his first year in the program from the all-time leading yardage record in the history of freaking University of Arkansas. Mm-hmm. And instead of us all being excited, of him coming back, I just don't know why there's some negative things going out there about the kid. I know I love him to death. I think he's exactly what we need. I wouldn't trade him for anybody. But I think to answer your question, it's about knowing the offense, being year 2 under the offense with Bobby. It's a hard job at quarterback in the NFL and at Arkansas, and it was when I was the O-line coach at Georgia, because they were running a pro offensive scheme. We are too. The quarterback has to do everything. He's the offensive coordinator on the field, and it's a very difficult job. And I think he knows his job like anybody. Once they know their job, they can get a lot better at it. A lot more confidence comes with that. And I just feel like he's always been able to throw. He really has. But if he knows where he's going a little bit faster, I think his accuracy and his statistics and us winning games and scoring more points are going to come that way as well.
Well, we're excited to watch him play. I mean, we've been talking about it all offseason. Can't wait, and excited to watch you guys get out there and get after it. And as always, we really appreciate you making time for us, Coach. Good luck in fall camp.
Thank you, Coach.
Kyle came to me and he told me, I said, "Oh, man, we'll go at 7:30 if those two guys want to talk to me." So appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank
Talk
you, Coach.
soon, man. Appreciate it. Good luck. Sam Pittman,